If there are Republican senators who are voting against Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation, then you, either in the Intel Committee or in the Open Senate, you will know that person is not only my enemy as someone who voted for change, for openness, for transparency, for an end to corruption, for a draining of the swamp. You know that person is an enemy of the United States, period. It's really that simple. And you will get the same story. Oh, it's national security. We can't let our enemies know. We can't trust Tulsi Gabbard. No, we can't trust you, actually. This is going to take place in the open, assuming we get that far. So this is just the one point I want to make about the next 30 days. There will be attempts to prevent this from happening. I don't want to make anyone feel paranoid. But at this point, once you win the Electoral College and the majority of the popular vote, that is an undeniable mandate, so there's no way to argue that Trump shouldn't be seated or anything like that. No one is contesting this election. No one can. You're going to need an event that is effectively catastrophic to change the course from openness to more secrecy, and there's no faster way to do that than a war. And by the way, the kind of war that the Biden administration is advocating for right now with the world's largest nuclear armed power could eliminate the United States and the entire Western Hemisphere. That's not an overstatement. But you will see people you think are your allies all of a sudden telling you when the United States so badly needs attention, someone in charge of the United States has to look at the country and say, you're in trouble. The numbers show it clearly. This country needs the attention of its leaders. It needs the care of its leaders. It needs people who actually want to improve the country, not the world, the country. And if some of those people look you right in the face and say, I'm sorry, we're just going to have to deploy to this, that, or the other country because there's an imminent threat to the world, you know those people are trying to thwart the progress that you voted for. Those people are your enemies. I'm sorry to say that. It's just true. And I don't care what I lived there all these years, and I watched it no, we have to do this. We have to do this. And this person is now our enemy. And I went along with it every single time. I was like, well, that guy sounds bad. And by the way, they almost always were bad. You know what I mean? Like, most leaders are pretty bad. Everyone's a kind of variety of Idi Amin, though most are less entertaining than he was. But you know what I mean? Like, this leader's bad. Well, I believe that. That's why I don't live there. I'm from here. I was born here. This leader's bad. Yeah, great, got it. So we need to all of a sudden take our entire budget, all of our energy, all of our attention, and focus on killing this leader. Well, it's like, you know, I'm not going to weep for that leader, but like, what about me? What about my country? What about my children? Well, that can wait. Well, actually, it can no longer wait. And I think we need to say that really, really clearly. And the next time Dan Crenshaw stands up and says, but you don't understand the threat. Shut up, Dan Crenshaw. And everyone liked Dan Crenshaw. Just about had it with you. You got hundreds of thousands of American citizens dying of drug ODs, and you've done nothing. Your state was invaded by foreign nations at the behest of international organizations, including the United Nations. 15 million young men just came into our country for reasons we can't even understand, and you did nothing over your border. And you're going to tell me that some other nation is the threat? No, you're the threat. And that's true. So I don't care what party that person comes from. That person is an enemy of everything that you voted for. Trust me. We've seen this movie so many times, and the way that they short-circuit your critical thinking and get you to go along with it, and I know because I've been a victim of this, is by scaring the crap out of you with something. And the second you're afraid, you're like, oh, I guess an experimental vax, okay, I'll take it. Oh, I can't go outside anymore? All right. I'm worried about my grandchildren. Oh, we need to kill Saddam Hussein. He's bad. No, no mas. No mas. Fix this country. You are the father who abandoned his children, and there's no excuse for that. You, Dan Crenshaw, you entire Democratic Party, you Mitch freaking McConnell, you're the one whose own children languished and died while you focused on the neighbor's kids or kids in another country. All of that may be fine, but your duty is to your kids. That's why you're the leader. And anyone who shirks that duty is guilty of abandonment And there is no lower man than the man who abandons his family. There is no lower form of leader than the leader who doesn't care about the people in his charge.